Are you a talented therapist? You know you can be helping a lot of people, but you just don't have the systems to make it happen? Well, today, Caroline and I are so excited to be chatting with you about all the things tech. Even if you hate tech, this episode is for you. This discussion is for you. We are live, so please feel free to drop your questions in the comments. We've got stuff on the screen. So, anyway, Caroline, I'm so excited.
Yes,
And
and
yeah, so as you know, I'm a therapist myself, and most therapists, they're not avoiding systems because they're lazy. They're avoiding systems because they just feel so overwhelmed.
I hear it all the time. And you and I met over a year ago now, and we have a lot of these conversations because now there's a lot of women that we've worked with, and I've been doing this for over 20 years, which is crazy to think about. And while technology is getting simpler and simpler, it's actually becoming harder and harder and more overwhelming along the way. And I think that it's something that I always said was that I used to be a hairdresser. I've done lots and lots of coaching over the years. And being in marketing myself, it's different. But one thing that I've always said is that we don't go into business to become a marketer. We go into business to do whatever we want to do. And whether that's helping people as a therapist, whether it's helping people in whatever your job is, the last thing you want to be doing, is doing marketing. And the amount of people you and I meet, we were just talking before we got on the call, was that, for example, Dee that you were talking about, there's also a few other people that we've been speaking about, that these women keep on getting stuck on this situation where tech becomes overwhelming. And I think that the one thing I can take away from every single person, woman that I've worked with, is that they feel like it's them. They feel like they're the problems. They think that, I hear it all the time, oh, maybe I'm just not smart enough. And these are women who have got high level educations, and then they're saying that they're not smart enough. How could it be that hard? But it's because the systems are usually made too hard, and there
Yes.
are simpler ways to do it.
Yeah. Well, and even for me, like I enjoy tech and systems and all the things, but what happened to me in the past before meeting you is I had a tech stack like a spreadsheet long.
Yeah, I've
And
yeah.
it's kind of like those courses you buy that you never finish. Like
Mm.
you buy all this tech stuff thinking like, oh, I'm going to get my email marketing, or I'm going to get all these calendar reminders, or just different things, and it adds up. And before you know it, you're just spending bukus of money on your tech stack that you don't even know what it does or how to set it up. And you're still maneuvering like 14 internet tabs, or you're
And
still,
nothing
you're,
links,
yeah.
nothing links together.
Exactly, exactly. And then all your follow-ups are following through the cracks, or falling through the cracks. You're feeling behind. I mean, like having all of that open and all of that in the background creates more noise, especially for therapists, because our job requires so much mental energy, capacity, and focus. Like the less noise you have, the better. And I think that's why a lot of therapists like shy away from using tech, because they're like, I just don't have the mental capacity to take on anything else. Like, I don't want to learn this other skill, or I don't want to have to take the time because they don't have the time, mentally or just logistically.
And it's crazy. And we were speaking about it because I do find that so many therapists have these amazing lead magnets that you look at them and you go, wow, that is so helpful. And there's so many times that I go, oh my God, I found this amazing lead magnet, or I found, like, if I'm looking at it from the outsider's point of view, I won't call it a lead magnet at that stage, but I know it's a lead magnet. And I'll be like, oh my God, 10 tips for blah, 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 blah. But I think that a lot of people get stuck in this whole getting a lead magnet together. They spend hours or weeks. I know people that spend months on them. And then they
Right.
go, oh, wow, this is amazing. And then nothing happens with it. And they don't get any email signups. And then they think they've done something wrong. They don't understand what's gone wrong, or someone's given them bad advice. But I think that something that you and I do really, really well is creating a lead magnet into a quiz. And I want you to get into that, because from a therapist point of view, I think that it's mind blowing. And you did an amazing one right when we first started working together, and it's gone really well for you.
Yes, yes. So my first experience with business coaching, that coach encouraged me to have an intro guide. And I spent a long time creating that on Canva, which I think a lot of other therapists do as well. And it's, you know, the lead magnet is that thing that people opt into. So maybe it's 10 tips for your nervous system, or 10 ways to lift your depression, improve your mood, whatever. So for me, I was getting opt-ins for that intro guide, but it wasn't solving a problem. And so whenever you and I met and started working together, then it's redirecting that opportunity, because there is so much opportunity in getting people to opt in to a lead magnet. And, I've done all sorts of lead magnets, but the highest winning lead magnet is a quiz. And in doing the quiz by using the Power Zone platform, it's so easy. You just set up the questions, put a picture. I mean, it's like 1, 2, 3, and you're done. And for my quiz, I started with which type of OCD are you? And what's amazing is that at the end, and it's laid out very simply, whether it was contamination OCD, religious OCD, relationship OCD, they get customized emails based upon those results. And I even this past weekend, I'm doing like a Loom video for someone because they're getting set up in the Power Zone, and I'm like so excited for you, And I think that's the other unique thing about you and I, Caroline, is that we're willing to hop on a call and help walk someone through tech. Like, you don't have to be good at tech to get these quizzes going or your email marketing going. And a lot of other, I would say, contractors or coaches, freelancers, they're going to use all these marketing buzzwords and language that you don't need to worry about learning or understanding, because you and I get it. I mean, you've been in marketing, what, 20 some years?
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
that's the thing, is that we've built out so many automations, and I think that was, we started working together, and then when it came to me coaching you, and then after that time of working together, then I was like, hang on a second, we need to work together on something bigger than this, because what I found is that you've built out these amazing automations that are specifically made for therapists, especially like your ZocDoc and your Therapist Today ones. And I think that we have got an ethos that you and I both stand by, is that, and I've noticed that a few times, that we'll go and do something apart, and then we come back together. And I'm like, hey, I wrote this up. I know that you agree. And you're like, yes, I agree, because I think our ethos is, we've already built out the systems. Why not give them to other
Yes.
people who need them as well? And things like the quiz, for example, is a really good example. You've created a cool quiz. I've created great quizzes as well. And they're quizzes that we can now turn around and say to other therapists, hey, just use what we've already got as a base and take it from there. And I think that takes that stress level out of it. And once someone sees, like you said, you just throw together a Loom for them. We've got a whole lot of videos in the back end already, and people can just watch through those videos and understand step by step. And I think you said something really interesting before. There's a lot of people throwing around buzzwords, and
Mhm.
throwing around these, they think if they throw around the buzzwords, it's going to make them sound more worth more money, or that they know more about what they're doing. But what I found is the more bigger buzzwords people use, usually they don't actually know that much. And I'm more about putting my money where my mouth is. And you know that from me, is I'm very much like, let's get in and get it done and do it together. And I think quizzes are such a great way, because you can pretty much take anything that you do and turn it into a quiz. And the power behind a quiz is that you're no longer creating 10 reasons why your boyfriend doesn't want to marry you. You're turning it into, find out what's specifically going on in your relationship that your boyfriend doesn't want to marry you. And then at the end of it, because there's never going to be one answer for that, there's always going to be a couple of different options. And rather than someone reading through 10 reasons why my boyfriend doesn't want to marry me and saying, well, option 1, 3, and 5 are me, then you've actually laid it out for them in a more simpler way that makes the person who's filled out that quiz say, this therapist knows me. This therapist
Yes.
understands me. And I think the power behind that, rather than just saying, oh, there's 10 options there. And because you could have easily had your which OCD type are you, and just had it as a chart, or like, here's the
Mhm.
4 different types, and you pick which one you are. Whereas now you're saying, I'm going
Exactly.
to you.
Yeah, and that's what I love about the quiz aspect, because it gives you obviously you're not diagnosing them, but you're giving them a unique result and solution so that it feels very personalized. Because otherwise, if you do the Canva doc like I was doing before, or even a PDF, you're giving them so much information that it's information overload because you're trying to cover those 4 different types or 5 different types, and they don't need to see all that. They just need to know that you get them. And the other thing I wanted to mention, Caroline, is that there are people out there, and this is the other thing that I feel like, and why you and I are moving towards that group coaching beyond booked out program, is that there are a lot of shady people out there, a lot of scammy people.
Mm.
So when it comes to the quizzes, I have known, I'm not even kidding, I have known of people who have paid 10 grand to get a quiz made.
Yeah, yeah.
And that is just so absurd. But people pay it. And I'm like, we're here to tell you, you don't need to do that. Like, Power Zone is way more affordable than that.
The
Way higher
important thing is you can
converting.
set it up for yourself for free and you don't have to pay anything. And if you're not happy, and then you pay a small fee if you want to stay with it, but you can try it out for free rather than, and like you said, people are charging 10 grand and then you get the quiz and you're like, I don't even like what you've done for me.
Yeah, yeah, and you probably can't edit it or change it. And it's not. This is the other key thing. It's not a therapist specific system,
Mm,
which is
mm,
highly important because, like, let's say you use Typeform. Well, Typeform is not HIPAA compliant, and like you have to pay extra to get that
mm.
BAA.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Power Zone is already HIPAA compliant, so that's just makes it a lot more seamless, a lot more connected.
Mm.
So anyhow, all in all, we're here to tell you that there's you can shortcut a lot of the tech headache by, I mean, working with us using Power Zone. Also, you don't have to learn a whole new system. Like, I mean,
Mm.
yes, the system exists, but we're there to support you and help you and basically remove the decision fatigue because
And
you already know it works.
yeah, and that's the thing is that you might use a calendar system in one program, and then you have to go and use an email system somewhere else, and you've got to connect those two together. And I know that some of the other systems that do calendar automation, if you want to book appointments through a calendar system, appointment booking, you can only do one or two different calendar emails after that. And I know that you yourself have created an automation because in your situation, you have the situation of teenagers with their parents, and you needed a system where the teenager makes the booking, but the parent needs to know about that booking as well. So you've created an automation where the teenager can get the email and the parent can get the email, and they're not the same. Because yes, if you've got a normal
Yes.
relationship situation, in a relationship booking, then the two people can get the exact same email. But in some situations, you don't want two people to get the same email, and so you've created a system and automation. It's already in the system, and
Yes.
it can be, you can send out 100 emails in that scenario if you want to, not the like some of these platforms that only let you send 2 emails. We can do unlimited. So there's no limit on that. And there's no price extra of like saying, oh, you want to send out 3 emails, then you're going to pay more for it. No, it's just you use everything unlimited. And if you want to send out 2 emails or 12 emails or 100 emails, you have that option. And in that situation, as a scenario, you can send a teenager an email, you can send a parent an email. But then if you want to send 6 emails to a teenager and 2 to the parent, you can do that as well. It's
Oh,
the
yes.
possibilities are limitless.
Yes. It's very customized, but also, I would say a lot easier to understand. It's much more practical
Yeah.
of a system, the Power Zone is. Plus, there's you and I to help support the person as well. So I know we're coming up on 15 minutes, and we've already got someone who commented audit, and we are offering live coaching sessions. We're going to be doing this on Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Eastern, as far as I know. So, yeah, we'll vet through people or DM us or comment the word audit, and we're happy to do like a coaching call with you to help assess like where the gaps are in your business, and then we can help talk through and help you optimize what's missing, help close some gaps for you.
Because I
Yeah,
think
so
that's the biggest thing to take away is that most of the situations are not the fact that there's a problem with the actual therapist or the coach. The problem is that the systems are not in place that can be in place, and there can be an easy way of making that happen.
Yeah, and you helped me with my biggest pain point within like the first 10 minutes of us meeting each other over a year ago. So
that's always where we start, especially with the 6-week program. We talk about, think about who you're actually targeting first, because nothing else matters. If you don't know who you're targeting properly, then nothing else can actually fall into place properly.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, this was fun.
Yeah, this is our
Can't wait
first
to do it.
I'm really happy with it.
Yeah, can't wait to do this
Well,
again next week.
yeah. Thank you, everyone, and we look forward to hearing from anyone that wants to get more information.